Hi, kindergartners. Do you notice that I'm sitting in a different spot than I'm normally sitting in when we do our station lessons together? Well, that's because today I want to talk to you about morning work and what that means. Now, you've already heard me say morning work before, haven't you? When we've been getting logged on to our iPads in the morning, I've been saying, all right, boys and girls, take out this paper, that paper, and I want you to work on it while Mrs. Finkel's talking to everyone and getting everybody checked in. That's what I like to call your morning work. Now, you know the big talk has been that hopefully pretty soon, in a couple weeks, that still seems like a long time when you're little, but within the next few weeks, we're hoping that you're going to be coming into the school building at least on some days, right? So we want to start talking about what morning work looks like at home and what morning looks like at school. And that's why I'm going to show you from here about morning work. Now, so far, we've been using this green folder. I know, I had to reuse it. I didn't want to waste it. I wrote a name upside down. We don't like reading upside down, do we? So I had to scribble it out, so I made this one my folder. Yep, this is where I've been keeping the same papers you have so that I know which ones I sent home with you. This folder is almost empty. It's got a few more papers in it, doesn't it? Well, instead of getting our papers out of this folder for morning work from now on, we're going to use this folder to store your papers in that you want to show me. And I'm going to tell you something about a daily folder in a minute. But for right now, what you want to know is that you're going to find your morning work in the red folder from now on. All right, you can have a special folder just for morning work. Now, you should know that when you come into school, when we're in the building, it takes time to get situated into school. Just like it takes time for us to get everybody logged on in the morning, it takes a lot of time to get all the boys and girls into the classroom, get their lunchbox put in the right spot, get their coat hung up, get out any notes from their family. Sometimes during all that time, someone comes in and thinks, I need to go to the bathroom. So then they need to take care of that business. So just like we have morning work when we do our computer learning, you're going to have morning work, or sometimes teachers call it seat work, when you come to school. And what that means is when you get all your other things put away, we'll talk about all those other procedures later. You walk to your table and you have a folder with you. But guess what? Your morning work isn't going to be in your folder. No, that folder is going to be open up and sitting on your desk or your table for Mrs. Finkel to peek at. Yep, and then I need to look in there and see if Mom and Dad told me anything. We'll talk about that part more later, but you set that down. And then sitting on your table is usually a piece of work. Now, right now, your work is in this folder. When you're at school, Mrs. Finkel will have it sitting on your table, so you won't have to worry about your folder for this. Your folder will have a different job then. But for right now, each morning, you're going to do two pieces of morning work. You're going to take out one letter, and we're going to go in ABC order. The one we're going to practice today is A. I know it is tricky because I'm talking to you about it at station time, and then you're going to do it the next day for morning work. I'm going to show you with the letter A, and then tomorrow you're going to take out the letter, did you already guess it? The letter B for your morning work, okay? But we're going to just practice with letter A right now so that you know. Now, right now I'm having you do two pieces of morning work. I know it does seem like a lot, but it's taking me a long time to get everybody logged in, isn't it? Right, and when we're at school, I can just say, okay, well, now we're going to do another worksheet. When you're at home, I kind of have to tell you ahead of time. Right, I can't change it up later. All right, so don't do the other papers in your red folder yet, okay? Now, one of your papers in your red folder is an ABC one. The other paper has your name written on it. And do you know your name is special to you? Yeah, absolutely. Each child should have their name. I hope Mrs. Finkel didn't make any mistakes, put the wrong papers in the wrong folder. If so, I'm sure you'll let me know. But I don't have my own name papers. I don't have them made up for my name. So I'm going to show you what you would do with your name paper on just a regular sheet of paper today, okay? Now, I'm not worried about which name paper you do on which day. You might think it's funny that they're flipped over backwards. That's because the way that I printed them, the easiest ones to do were in the back. So if you start and you take out the first paper that's backwards to you, that's where I suggest you start, because those are the ones that are teaching you along the way. The ones that are in the back of the folder, they have you writing your name a lot of times, and we might need to practice first before we're ready to write it many times. All right, if you take out the wrong name one, I'm not going to know and I'm not going to worry, because at some point you're just going to get one a day done, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, now let's talk about practicing our names. Remember these? Maybe some of you still know where this is. Maybe some of you have lost this. If you've lost it, don't panic. You can just have Mom show you, or Dad, how to write your name again on any sheet of paper, and then you can put it in a safe spot so that if they're not right there, you're going to know how to write your name. All right, I know, isn't it funny to see Mrs. Finkel's name as just a regular name? Sometimes it's easy to forget that our teachers have a name other than Mrs. Finkel or Mrs. Frischman, right? But my name is Andrea, and did you notice what's different about this first A right there? Of course you did. You guys are great with your letters. The first letter in a name is always capital. You know, I think that's pretty special. I think that shows how valuable people are. People are special. They're more special than just a thing, a chair or a table, or even something really great like a fancy car or great high heels. People are special, so they get their name capitalized. Now, notice the rest of the letters. They're lowercase. And sometimes that's tricky for us because many of us, when we're first learning our letters, we learn all the capitals. So we get in the habit of writing our name with all capitals. But now, you guys are school kids. It's time to start writing a capital first letter and the rest lowercase. So when you're practicing your name on your name sheets, that's how they're going to do it. And that's what we want to work towards doing in our classroom also. By the end of the year, when I think, okay, are they ready? Do they know how to write their name? That means that the first letter will be capital and the rest will be lowercase. Today I'm just talking about our first names. We'll talk about last names later. Oh, you know what? I should probably pause there. It's going to be a little bit disrupting. Now I want you to look at your name. Oh, good, they stopped. That was great. All right, now when I practice my name on my paper, I'm going to use markers so that you can see. I prefer that at home you're using pencil on your morning work. All right, I'm going to start with my capital. I'm going to make my uppercase A, then my lowercase n. You're going to write different letters because no one except for Remington's mom is also named Andrea in our class. So you have to have a different combination of letters. Do you see how I wrote my name there? I took my time. Right, my capital letter touched the top, didn't it? Now, let's pretend you're at someone else's house and you don't have your red folder. There's no need to panic. I didn't have my paper. I just got out a sheet of paper and I knew it was time to practice writing my name. So if you, for some reason, don't have your paper one day, I don't know, maybe juice spills on it so that you don't have your paper, then you can get out another sheet of paper and write your name. If worst comes to worst, use your whiteboard. Yeah, that'll work too. All right, so I'm going to put this one aside. You'll know today for your station, I want you to take out one paper, one name paper, and do just one. All right, just one name paper. The second thing that you're going to do for your station today is your letter hunt, okay? Now today we're going to do the letter A. Yep, I know, it's as a station today, but from now on, it will be as morning work. I got to show you how to do it. I can't just say tomorrow morning you were supposed to know how to do this all of a sudden, right? Looks like someone really wants to talk to us. Let's go turn that down so we're not disrupted. You know, that happens a lot during school, too. Yep, sometimes there'll be things that other teachers need to tell Mrs. Finkel. Sometimes we might be interrupted. Like a family needs to talk to Mrs. Finkel, but we'll turn that down so we can be focused. All right, now, on this paper, we have to decide what is and what is not an A. Now, boys and girls, I did something special with you guys. Normally, I've started the boys and girls with the capital letters, and we've done all of these for all the capital letters. Sometimes we get to the lowercase, sometimes we don't. I thought you guys were ready for the lowercase right now. I think you're ready. So what we're going to do on these word hunts is first you're going to write your name on your paper. When you're at home, that's not a super big deal. When you are at school, you have to write your name on every paper. That's another good reason why we're practicing it now. Because when you come to school, if your name's not on your paper, I won't know whose it is. And a lot of times papers will drop on the floor. They fall out of folders. There's a lot of things that can happen to papers. If your name is on it, I know who to get it back to. Without a name, it's a no-namer, and it gets really sad. Sometimes I'll say, oh, boys and girls, I have a no-namer. Somebody worked really hard, and I don't know who to give it to. And the children will get nervous, and they won't say that it's theirs. And I have to put it in the garbage because I don't know whose it is. And then their parents never get to see it. So we do want to get in the habit of writing our name on a paper. All right, time to look for those lowercase a's. On this kind of paper, you can take out your crayons. You get to choose the color. All right, and your job is to color all the lowercase a's that you can find. Now look at right away I started with the toughie. This first one was that typewriter A, that special font that looks kind of funky. Yeah, that's a different kind. All right, I'm going to keep looking, and I'm going to color, if it looks like the letter A, I'm going to color it. When we used to do these a long time ago, if we found one, we'd say ding, 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 ding. We might do that some days, but when we do it as morning work, we don't want a whole lot of noise going on. Let's take a look at this right here. Is that an A? That's not an A, that's a square. I know that because I see 4 sides. I see 4 corners. You can see the 4 points right there. So I don't get to color that one. I'm going to leave it alone. How about this one? No, that's a trapezoid. I can't color that one either. It's not a letter A. What about down here? Yeah, I can color that one. It's a fancy A, but it is a letter A. So I'm going to go ahead and color that. Now, boys and girls, for your station today, I know that you will be able to find the other A's. On this page, you'll find those A's and you'll color them. Look below. Do you see this? There's written directions. They say, trace the letter A. And I like how they put a pencil there because we were using a crayon before. See the little crayon by the directions? Now we know it's time to switch to a pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trace these lowercase a's. I'm not going to rush. I'm going to trace each one of them. I'm going to make my circle, then I'm going to make my line. My circle, and then my line. And I keep going until I've done all the lowercase a's on this line. I don't want to skip any of them. If I skip them, I'm kind of wasting a chance to get better at the work. All right, there, see, I did it. I got all the way through. Now at the bottom, there's a pencil again. Trace and write the number 4. Oh, I can do that. All right, this week we're going to, well, actually next week we'll talk a lot about the number 4, but this week we'll talk about it a little. When I make the number 4, I go down, back, down once more. That's the way to make a 4. Down, back, down once more. That's the way to make a 4. See how I trace those? And then when you write your own 4s on these lines, you want to try to make it look like that. I like how this squirrel was holding 4 acorns. There were 4 dots on this turtle, 4 dots on this butterfly, and 4 scoops of ice cream. One of those got to be cherry amaretto, right? I hope so. A little bit of Rocky Road or mint chocolate chip in there. That's good stuff. All right, boys and girls, that's how you do your letter morning work. So for your station today, finish this letter A, do 1 name paper, and then your station's done. Don't go ahead and do a whole bunch of these, because then in the morning time, you'll say, my work's done. I don't know what to do. But tomorrow morning, when it's time for getting everybody logged in, you're going to be able to take out the letter B paper, and you're going to be able to take out 1 name paper. The day after that, you'll take out the next letter. You won't have to wait anymore for Mrs. Finkel to say, this is what our morning work is. When we get back into our classroom, we'll figure out the next steps then. All right, boys and girls, work hard on those, do your best, and thank you for all your good listening.